Welcome dear student. Student, this video is about free fall and power. So let's see what they are. Class 9. Alright, so let's see what is a free fall. Student, if we release an object from a certain height, what happened? It gets pulled towards the earth. And why this is pulled towards the earth? Because of the gravitational force of the earth. Earth will attract any object towards it, and this is called as gravitational force. So student, an object falling solely under the influence of gravitational force only is said to be in free fall or to be falling freely. So let's see the proper definition. Free fall is defined as when a body is moving only under the influence of the earth's gravity. That means when an object, only gravitational force is acting on the object, it is called as free fall. Okay, we know na, there is Bion's forces there and frictional forces there, and any type of any other types of forces are there. But when object will fall only due to the gravitational force, its motion will takes place. So then that condition will be called as free fall. Student, let's look at the kinetic and potential energies of an object of mass m falling freely from height h when the object is at different heights. So student, alongside you can observe one diagram in which we can observe that an object is falling from point A to point C. Okay, then after point A it will come to point B, then after point B it will come to point C. So here velocities are different and height is different. Okay, so the total height from point A to C, it is h, and the height from A to B, it is x, and B to C, it is h minus x. Okay, so these are the different height of the object at different position, but mass will be always same, that is m. So here we have to calculate the total energy. Okay, so let's see student, as shown in the diagram, the point A is at height h from the ground, and let point B okay, so this is point B and this is point C. So when the object is at stationary at A, its initial velocity will be u is equals to 0. That means at A, it is initial position. Okay, initial velocity. So student, we know that initial velocity of an object is always 0 because it is at stationary position or it is at rest position. Alright, so when u is equals to 0, the kinetic energy will be half mass into velocity square, that is half mv square. Okay, but here velocity of an object is u, that's why we are writing here half mu square. Instead of writing v, we are writing here u square. Now student, here u is equals to 0. So after putting the value of u is equals to 0, we will get what? Kinetic energy will be equals to 0. All becomes 0. So the and potential energy will be mgh. This is a formula for potential energy, that is mgh. Okay, so the total energy, what is our total energy? It is kinetic energy plus potential energy. So after putting the values of kinetic energy and potential energy, we will get kinetic energy is 0 and potential energy is equals to mgh. So 0 plus mgh will be what? It is mgh only. So here at position A, the total energy required by an object will be mgh. Okay, so this will be our equation number 2. Now let's see the position B. Now here we will see the velocity of the object at point B. Okay, so student, here let's see, let the velocity of an object at point B will be VB. Okay, at point B it is VB, and when it reaches at point B, having fallen through a distance x, you can observe in alongside diagram also, the distance between A to B is x. Alright, now here initial velocity will be 0, and here s, that is displacement is, or distance will be x, and here A, acceleration, is equals to g. Now here we will using the relationship v square is equals to u square plus 2as. Now student, you know this equation shows the relationship between the displacement and velocity. Okay, so let's put up all the value. We will get v square is our vb. This is the velocity at point B, so vb square is equals to, here initial velocity is 0. Then after 0 here 2as. Okay, so 2as, the value of a is g and value of s, distance, is our x. Okay, and finally we will get vb square is equals to 2gx. Now after getting the velocity, we will first find out the kinetic energy. So kinetic energy will be half mv square. Okay, so instead of writing v square, here we will write vb, that is velocity at point B, and by here half vb square. Okay, so value of vb is just we have calculated in a previous step, that is 2gx. So we have to write here the velocity of, value of 2gx. Here we will not write 2gx square, okay, because the value of vb square only is the 2gx. And kinetic energy will be what? Here mgx, because half 2 and 2 will get cancelled, so remaining will be 2gx. And height of the object when at B is h minus x. So potential energy will be mgh, right? So mg, the value of here h will be h minus x, here not h minus x will be there, because height minus x. And after putting all the values, we will get potential energy is equals to mgh minus mgx. So student, here just we did the multiplication of mg to h and mgx. Okay, just we have multiplied mg with the bracket h and x. Now therefore the total energy will be, now here we are getting we get the kinetic energy also and potential energy. Now just we have to put the value of both the energies. Okay, so total energy will be, the value of kinetic energy is mgx and potential energy is mgh minus mgx. Now here plus and minus sign will get always cancel. Now you know this, so plus mgx minus mgx will get cancel, they will get 0, and the value only be remaining only will be mgh. So here only also the total energy is equals to mgh. So student, this will be our equation number 2, and you have to remember in previous slide we get the total energy value is mgh, and here also the total energy is mgh. So in both the thing we get total energy same, mgh. Now we have to see the free fall at point C. Okay, so let the velocity of the object be vc. Here point C is there, that's why velocity will be vc when it reaches the ground near point C. And here also u is equals to 0, and the value of s is total, it is h. Okay, and a is equals to g because gravitational force. Okay, and here also we are using the same relation between velocity and displacement. So just put up all the values. Vc square is equals to u is 0 and a is g and s is g, so we get 2gh. Okay, so final value of vc square is equals to 2gh. So again here same step will be there, kinetic energy is equals to half mvc square and the value of vc square is 2gh, and 2 and 2 gets cancelled, we will get mgh only. And height of the object from ground at point C, it will be 0. Okay, now therefore potential energy will be what? Formula is mgh, and if h is equals to 0, then whole value becomes 0. And total energy will be kinetic energy plus potential energy. Student, let's put up all the values. We will get total energy is mgh. This will be our equation number 3. And student, here we can observe in all the 3 slides we got all the total energy is mgh only. Okay, so student, does every object has potential energy when it is at height above the ground, and it keeps getting converted to kinetic energy as the object falls towards the ground, and on reaching the ground, that is at point C, all the potential energy gets converted to kinetic energy, but at any point during the fall the total energy remains what? Constant only, right? Because we are getting in all the 3 conditions we are getting the total energy same, that is mgh. So here total energy is equals to mgh in all the 3 points, that is A, B and C. So this is all about student free fall. Now next we have to study about power. Now let's see. Okay, so power is a rate at which work is done. That means power is a rate at which work is done. So student, here the fast or slow rate of the work done is expressed in terms of power. That means the work is done with a fast rate or slow rate. Okay, so this is nothing but the power. So student, now just tell me, can your father climb stairs as fast as you can? Obviously not. Okay, why? Because the work done by your father, it will be taken more time, and work done by you, that means climbing, the time taken for you to climb the stair is less as compared to your father. Okay, so here the work all right, so here the work done is different at different person to person. Okay, and if W amount of work is done in time T, then power, this is a formula for power, student. Power is equals to work upon time, and in the alphabetical manner, P is equals to W upon T. And in SI system, the unit of work is joule, that is J. So the unit of power is, it will be P is equals to W upon T. So unit of the work is joule and time is second, that is joule per second. And this joule per second is called as watt. And 1 watt is equals to, so 1 watt is equals to 1 joule upon 1 joule per 1. And student, in the industrial sector, the unit used to measure power is called the horsepower, that is HP, and usually in reference to output the engines or motors. And 1 horsepower is equals to 746 watt. The unit of energy for commercial use is kilowatt hour, and 1000 joule work performed in 1 second is 1 kilowatt power. And student, 1 kilowatt hour is equals to 1 kilowatt multiplied by 1 hour. And here 1 kilowatt is nothing but 1000 watt, and 1 hour is equals to what? 3600 seconds. So finally, after multiplying, we get answer is joule, this much, and 1 kilowatt hour is equals to 3.6 multiplied by 10 raised to 6 joule. This we can write in short form. And student, electricity used for domestic purposes in measured in units of kilowatt hour, and 1 kilowatt hour is equals to 1 unit. So student, all these units and units you have to keep, you have to remember properly to solve the numericals. Alright student, the steam engine was invented in 1781 by the Scottish scientist James Watt, 1736-1819, and this invention brought about an industrial revolution. The unit of power is called watt in his honor, and James Watt was the first to use the term horsepower. So student, this was all about this lesson. I hope you all have understood this lesson very well, and to get all the videos from this lesson, you can check out my playlist. Thank you all of you.